Posted a video truly with the best of intentions. I and Heritage don't engage in canceling people, because when you cancel people, especially in the age of social media, if in fact you do that because you want their audiences to get smaller, you make their audiences bigger. And then there's the whole thing of the loyalty toward friends. And speaking as a pretty proud Generation Xer, my motivation, having seen over the last 25 years, basically the entirety of my professional career, that men and women of all ages, but especially in my generation, have been canceled from every industry. My motivation was to draw a line in the sand and say, let's stop that. You have a problem with the content, you have a problem with the issues, you have a problem with the ideas, by all means, go debate them.
This is Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation, doubling down on a sentiment that he's held for the last week, as Heritage has been in some pretty hot water. So basically, Tucker Carlson, one of the most popular figures on the right, just did a video with Nick Fuentes, who is a pretty famous anti-Semite in the new right groups. Nick Fuentes has said disgusting things about women, about the Jews. He doesn't necessarily think that the Holocaust was real. He's pro-Stalin. He's also pro-Hitler. And he's just not really a figure that the right wants to associate with right now. Nonetheless, Tucker's interview with him was relatively tame, which, if you remember the interview Tucker did with Ted Cruz a few months back, that's pretty shocking. Tucker was very hostile with Ted Cruz, and with Nick Fuentes, he treated him like an old friend. Kevin Roberts at the Heritage Foundation has said Heritage supports Tucker because they want to engage in debate and ideas and don't want to cancel anyone on the right, no matter how much they might disagree with how they're using their platforms or with the ideas they promote on those platforms. So this was a speech that he gave the other night at Hillsdale College, but interestingly enough, in a Q&A session afterwards, he was asked by a reporter what it would take for Tucker Carlson to lose Heritage's support. And in response, he simply said, "We don't forsake friends." There's a difference between forsaking friends and rightfully calling out what has become a really concerning trend of anti-Semitism on the right. Tucker has had a past with most of the people who you now see in conservative media, Kevin Roberts included at the Heritage Foundation. Tucker has a long history with the Heritage Foundation. But just because you called someone a friend once doesn't mean that you have to call them a friend going forward, doesn't mean that you have to defend their platform.